What's the difference between working on autopilot and working with intention? A lot of you might not have actually considered this. When we work with intention, it means that we decide ahead of time what matters most and why. It's going through that whole Eisenhower matrix of important and urgent and figuring out what are the key priorities. Autopilot means just doing the same pattern, tapping into whatever other people demand of you. Essentially, it's being a lot more reactive, and we want to be, as Stephen Covey explains, more proactive. For those of you who already feel you're being intentional, there's another depth to it. When we feel that we're planning and we're structured and we have the whole important, urgent part figured out, there's still a part of us that's acting on autopilot. This is because our brain functions best this way. What we can do is we can look at what is our autopilot and if it suits us. For instance, every time you're feeling stuck and bored in something you're doing, what is your reflex? Do you check your emails? Do you take out your phone? Do you get up and go for a walk? All of these are automatic behaviors that you've done so often that you no longer think about them intentionally. By actually pausing and noticing them, you can rewire and change it if you want to. If you notice, for instance, that every time you get stuck, you begin to multitask, and you've read over and over again how terrible multitasking is, then you can stop. No, I don't want to multitask when I'm stuck. I will go back to this task. And that's working with intention. That's rewiring your autopilot to do what you actually want to do. But first you need to figure out, how is it you want to work? Look into planning, reflection time, journaling, brainstorming, creating a roadmap, and planning your whole rhythm of work. Because until you've figured out what suits you best, you can read about it everywhere, listen to me speak, but you still won't really know what works best for you. Being intentional, experimenting, learning, continue being intentional, and then this turns into your new autopilot. So you will no longer automatically go on Facebook or YouTube or check your phone when you're bored, but you'll learn to stick with your task or have a small break and go for a walk, for instance. This is fundamental to changing the way you work, to having more energy, and to achieving fantastic results in everything you're doing. Always start every week and every day with being intentional.